Ladies and gentlemen, everyone at the Slam Fam Wrestling Network would like to issue their condolences to the families of Brian Lawler, Brickhouse Brown, and Nikolai Volkov. Our thoughts are with you. We're sorry for your loss. This week's episode of Off the Chest of Timothy Regal will be dedicated to their memories.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 77 of Off the Chest of Timothy Regal. I am your host, of course, the most famous man in wrestling in the state of Iowa, and I found that out because I was super over this weekend, Alex.
Nobody recognized you.
Everyone recognized me.
Nobody recognized you.
Everyone recognized me. Hey, it's Tiger Ali's thing. No. Everyone recognized me, of course, Alex. We spent the last few days... We spent a day at the Pro
Regal's not
Wrestling...
good with time.
Huh?
Regal's not good with time.
I'm really not. We spent a wonderful, wonderful Friday at the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame induction weekend in Waterloo, Iowa. Unfortunately, not able to go for the entire weekend this year, but we're able to... Thankfully, things kind of cleared up. We were able to go up for a day, like we said. Got up super early. I had very little sleep. Got up, drove up took a very easy drive up to Waterloo from the Quad Cities.
Yes.
Nice drive. Then we got up there basically right at the start of the talent evaluations.
Yep.
Got in, of course, walked right into the building, immediately greeted pretty much at the door by Troy Impact Pro Wrestling owner Troy Peterson.
Yeah.
Saw several of our friends, of course. The greatest manager on planet Earth, Jason Prentice. I hugged Jason Prentice. I don't think you did.
I did not.
You didn't hug Jason Prentice.
No, I hugged Malice.
You hugged Malice. Everybody hugged Malice.
Yeah.
Malice is a great guy.
I hugged Justin Decent.
You hugged Justin Decent. We hung out with the Smo.
A little bit.
Dustin Smothers.
Yeah.
Great to see the guys over at the Pro Wrestling Mothership Network.
Absolutely.
Of course, there was one person in Waterloo, Iowa that was more over than me.
Way more over than you.
Yes.
None other than
Everett Raven.
Everett Raven
was more over than me.
A lot more over.
Everybody wanted to meet Everett Raven.
Everybody wanted to meet the Raven.
I was actually pitching that we should make Everett Raven Malice's tag team partner.
No, what did Luke and Emily say to that?
Luke was down. Emily was not. I said we had to one up WrestleMania because Braun had Nicholas. We needed to have Malice come out and pick up Everett Raven as his tag team partner.
Wow.
For those of you folks who don't know, Everett Raven is a
4.5
month old infant child of our friend over at the Pro Wrestling Mothership Network, Luke Raven.
Absolutely.
Great to see them again, and that I will say that may have been the most adorable baby I think I've ever met in my life.
Super adorable.
He is so cute, and he was having a blast. And like I said, he was over like Rover.
He absolutely was.
You know who else was over?
Who?
James Jeffries.
James Jeffries.
Our Lord and Savior, James Jeffries.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's what I was told.
Yeah. Match by match.
No, I'm just going to go... I will just say that James Jeffries took on Austin Aries, and, I mean, that crowd... I actually said, if I try to start an Austin Aries chant in this building, I'm going to get murdered right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then James in the evening teamed up with Harry Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah.
So, my question to the world was, does this mean that Impact Pro Wrestling's James Jeffries is part of Suzuki Gun in New Japan?
You know what I said it meant? I said it meant that James Jeffries and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Allied Powers 2.0.
Doug Ritter said that James Jeffries was taking over for Lance Archer in the Killer Elite Squad.
And I say Allied Powers 2.0.
But no, we got to see our buddy Wes Briscoe.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually did not get a chance to talk to Wes.
I talked to Wes for a little bit.
Do you remember you?
Yeah, he remembered me from last year. He was I asked him if he had partied, how hard the party was on Thursday night. He said, no, we were good last night. I actually went to the gym this morning. Got to see our buddy Johnny Ruckus.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Johnny,
Seeing him Friday night.
3XW's Johnny Ruckus was there hanging out.
I got to have a good talk with Dave Lagana from the NWA.
Yeah, you hung out talking to Dave Lagana.
Yeah.
Talking to Dave Lagana.
The 10 Pounds of Gold series. We talked about Zicky Dice. We talked about a lot of things.
Oh, you know Zicky?
Yeah, Zicky was on the first 10 Pounds of Gold, remember?
Oh, that's right, he was. I totally forgot with that.
Yeah.
No, I talked to Wade Keller, Bruce Mitchell, and Jason Powell from the Pro Wrestling Torch for a little bit.
Somebody's listening to this goes, wow, here's the annual podcast where they just name drop.
Yes, pretty much.
It is raining names, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to drop all the names.
We had some killer pizza.
Yeah, let's put over that. What's the name of that?
Basil.
Pizzeria? Basil, yeah.
Basil, right next.
Well, because the sign just says pizzeria.
Yeah, Basil Pizzeria, right next to the Ramada Inn, right across the street from the 5 Sullivan Brothers Convention Center.
Absolutely, make the trip to Waterloo just to have this
Neapolitan pizza at its absolute finest.
Oh my goodness, it was so good.
I will drop one more name.
Only one?
Only one more for me. Probably the highlight of the day for me. I got a signed copy of the man's book. I got my pictures taken with him. You can check them out on my social media at SCMBRegal444. I got to meet and talk to the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff.
Absolutely.
I was super stoked. Nikita is a great guy. Awesome dude. Actually did a podcast with Wade Keller and Bruce Mitchell that I attended. Told some great stories from the Crockett days. Also joined on that podcast was by Larry the Axe Henning, who is absolutely hilarious. And Larry may have missed his calling in life.
Yeah?
Larry should have been a stand-up comic instead of a wrestler.
Larry's a pretty damn good wrestler.
He's an amazing wrestler, but he's also freaking absolutely hilarious. Kurt
was pretty funny too.
Well, yeah. I won't repeat some of the stuff he said, but let's just say he had some choice words regarding a certain Minneapolis-based promoter from back in his day.
Gee, there's no way they're gonna figure out that you're talking about Vern Gagne.
Yeah, Larry the Axe had a few choice words about Mr. Vern Gagne, which I won't repeat on this podcast.
Well, a lot of people have not so nice things to say about people they worked for.
Well, that's true.
Just wait until I do my shoot interview about you.
You're going to say nothing but glowing and wonderful things about me.
Depends on how much you pay me to lie.
Wow.
I'm kidding, Regal.
But overall, what do you think of the day? I mean,
I said it in my interview with Dustin Smothers as part of the pre-show for the actual event. It's my favorite time of year. It's the past, present, and future of wrestling. You have the talent evaluations in the morning. I just want to shout out some guys that, really, honestly, everybody did great, I thought, in the talent evaluations. We saw some of our friends, Eskrima Gomez, Dion Roosman, Steve Manders, and Joe Acer. Not all those guys are our friends, but we know them. We saw Austin Fouts take on Tyler Jones.
Flex Appeal. Took
Flex
each other
Appeal
on.
Explodes. We saw the Tangerine Dream, Ricky Love, take on Matty Starr. We saw Tomahawk Kid went up against Kyle Pro, some Minnesota guys from the Academy. I thought that was a great match.
Yeah.
And we saw Brandon Gore take on James Tapia.
Yeah.
Tapia.
Yeah. Brandon Gore, a kid who I think I've seen a match or two of his, but he worked the evening. He worked during the IPW show during the evening, and really impressed me.
What a physique!
Yeah, that kid's put together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, I know he's well known. If our buddy Chris Huffman knows him real well.
Oh, sure, obviously.
From up there in the Minnesota area.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, a lot of good.
I didn't tell you this. I thought about getting in the car and driving to Showtime Championship Wrestling yesterday. I was so bored. I was gonna make a 5-hour drive.
Yeah, there was some interesting matches. Got to see Bob Holly taking on Colt Cabana.
Yeah, Dubuque resident Bob Holly take on Colt Cabana. I don't. Sometimes, if you have information like that, you don't want to disclose it. But if you're going to go up to Bob and bother him in Dubuque, you have a death wish.
Yeah.
So I have no problem saying that, yes, Bob Holly does live in Dubuque.
I would not. I know one of our fans was telling me that he actually shops at the same grocery store as Bob.
Yeah.
And since Bob's a nice guy, but you kind of keep your distance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Out of fear of getting murdered because he's Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, I got an idea. How about I whip everybody's ass?
How about it, Bob? All right.
Got to see the Impact Pro World Champion and the X Division Champion on the show. We had Austin Aries.
Great to see Brian Cage.
Said hello to Brian Cage. Hadn't seen him in a while.
He seemed very nice.
He's a great guy. And of course, I think Instagram stories only go for 24 hours, don't they, unfortunately?
Yeah.
Brian Cage's Instagram story, man, he loved the Dan Gable Museum.
He absolutely did.
I would have loved to have been there when he was walking around, because he looked like he was having a blast at the Gable Museum.
Well, it's interesting. You didn't go over to the museum at all this year.
No, I went to the podcast. You guys went to the museum.
And I was kind of thinking, I'll go, because, Margaret's never seen it. I saw it last year, kind of, but whatever. And it absolutely, totally different. So make sure when you go, every time you go, anytime you go. Anytime you're in Waterloo, go check out the museum. It's very cool. They have an exhibit right now dedicated to the art of Rob Schamberger, who you have glowing things to say about Regal.
I love Rob, so
yeah.
I think he's great. When I met him 2 years ago, he's a great guy. I said hello to him briefly at the Hall of Fame show.
Yeah.
Didn't really get a chance to talk to him because obviously we were only there for a day, and we kind of just tried to and hang out with as many people as we could. Next year, absolutely, I'm gonna go back for the whole weekend.
I think we would like to.
I'm gonna make it happen next year to go back for the whole weekend because it's really, really an awesome event. I can't stress enough. If you're a wrestling fan that's listening to this podcast and you haven't been yet, get the VIP, go up to Waterloo, and even if you don't know anybody, and I think that was the mistake I made the first year.
Yeah.
We didn't know anybody, so we kind of just kept to ourselves.
It's a great place to make friends. Spoiler alert, everyone there loves wrestling.
Yes, everyone. You want to talk about being around a group of like-minded people.
Yeah.
And it's small enough that it's still fairly intimate. You can, walk up to Stan Hansen and have a conversation with Stan Hansen. You can walk up to J.J. Dillon and have a conversation with J.J. Dillon. You can walk up to Nikita Koloff. And throughout the weekend, there's various events. You can go and just hang out. And it's not like a lot of your conventions where it's the constant hard sell. Where, yeah, if you can throw these guys money for an autograph, a picture, an 8x10. A lot of them have books that you can. I bought Nikita's book for $20.
I bought Teeny Jarrett's the book about Teeny.
You bought the book about Teeny Jarrett, which I've heard is a phenomenal read.
Yeah, Luke interviewed him last year.
Yeah.
He said his interview with Luke was his favorite interview ever.
Yeah.
Because Luke fed him beer.
You can, but yeah, like I said, last year I had, basically breakfast. We were at adjacent tables, but for the entire course of a breakfast, had a running conversation with Baron Von Raschke and Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
We've, especially if you get the all access VIP where you get to go to the social on Thursday night.
That was probably my favorite thing.
Where everybody just hangs out, eats pizza, and drinks beer.
Yeah.
And I know they added events this year. If we'd have been there for the whole weekend, there's no question about it. I would have probably won that digital scavenger hunt because I would have done it in like an hour because I knew where everything on the list was.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly where to find like a Hall of Famer. I know where to find a WWE Tag Team Champion. I knew where to find a lifetime member of the museum. So I'm hoping that next year for the lifetime member of the museum, I could just take a selfie of myself. I will say that. It's I believe $250 to become a lifetime member.
Something ridiculously cheap like that.
Yeah, and then you basically get all access VIP for the rest of your life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm gonna do because I love the idea of it, and it's the Dan Gable Museum and the George Tragos Luthez Hall of Fame is a thing that I greatly support. I really, really wish I could have been there to see Owen Hart get inducted last night, because it sounds like they gave Bruce and Diana and Davey Boy Jr. gave a very amazing, heartfelt speech.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Who else? Dan Severn got inducted last night.
Yeah.
He was there. Dude, I will say one thing. I didn't talk to Dan Severn. Obviously, he had a very long line of people at the show, and I didn't want to bother him. I would 100% not fuck with Dan Severn. Dan Severn is in his 50s and still looks like he can beat the fuck out of a motherfucker.
What? What does that mean? Beat the fuck out of a motherfucker. I don't know what.
Dan Severn is still the beast.
I mean, yeah, oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I just don't know what beat the fuck out of a motherfucker means.
It means if you mess with him, you effed up.
You done die.
Yeah, you're gonna die. Who else? Bruiser Brody went in.
Yep. And which is crazy because I thought Bruiser was already in.
I thought so too, because his widow Barbara has been there every year that I've been there, so I thought he was already in.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure, and I know she gave, according to talking to our buddy Zach Takis. We didn't drop Zach Takis' name yet, and he's gonna get very upset if we didn't. We met Josh Lettis.
I really didn't.
From Jobbing with Josh.
I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
He's a great guy.
I'm not arguing that. I just said I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Yeah, I talked to him when you guys disappeared on me for a little bit.
We went to the museum.
No. After we ate pizza, you guys snuck in the back door.
Oh yeah.
You guys snuck in the back door, and I wanted to go look at the vendor tables, so
yeah.
I ended up waiting in line.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was like, snuck in the back.
Yeah,
I was like, I definitely did not sneak in the back door, but I know what you're talking about.
We already had tickets. We'd already paid for our tickets, but Alex and Margaret snuck in the back door.
We didn't sneak in.
No, you just walked in.
We just walked in, and Troy got on the microphone and said something, and I think that was when he said, "Hey, if you're here for the show, please go outside and line up, unless you're a VIP." And we just didn't. We didn't.
And the thing,
catch what he said.
Well, the thing is, I don't even in the morning when we showed up. I don't think we were technically supposed to be in the building yet either. But because it's me, you, and Margaret, Troy just let us walk right in.
Yeah.
Oh,
were we not supposed to be in there in the morning?
Well, they were still setting up when we walked in.
That's true. But there were other people in there. There were
there were some other fans in there too. So
we were fans.
I think the morning is kind of a loose kind of deal, but it's funny that you guys walked in and just kind of hung out, whereas I was at the vendor tables and talked with.
When I realized that I maybe wasn't supposed to be in there, I luckily was wearing my former Iowa Hawkeye Steve Manders shirt. I just sat down at Manders' merch table and acted like I was Manders' merch guy.
Can we talk? I want to talk about that for a second. How did I literally asked Manders himself? I said, "How did Manders rank to pull?" Manders got his merch table at the same merch table. It was Steve Manders and Nikita Koloff.
He got moved. He was by Brody.
Oh,
or
really?
By not Brody. God, Severn.
Oh, he was by Severn?
By Severn and Holly, and they moved him next to Nikolai.
Nikita. Yeah.
God damn it! I'm sorry.
Yeah. I actually did that a couple times for some reason. No, Nikita. Manders got to hang out and talk to Nikita, so I was kind of jealous. But yeah, I got to. Nikita was a great guy. Getting to meet him, he took his time with every single person. Great. I talked to B. Brian. Well, while I was waiting outside, like when you guys were in the building, I actually went over and talked to B. Brian Blair for a little bit too. So.
Oh, how's he doing?
He's great. B. Brian Blair won the Luther's Battle Royal, so obviously he was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Another guy's still in great shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. For as much as wear and tear as his body took during the 80s wrestling.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but yeah, you can tell he still goes to the gym every day.
Absolutely.
But no, it was a great weekend up in Waterloo. Like I said, only there was one good thing about only going for a day.
What's that?
We didn't partake in as much of the brown liquid.
Brown liquid.
The golden liquid.
Talking about alcohol.
Yes.
Oh.
The hooch, if you will.
God damn it, Regal. You just keep burying yourself deeper, don't you?
We did not, but I saw some pictures from last night and from Thursday night that
oh, really?
Yeah, let's just say one of your buddies showed up, a couple of your buddies showed up, I think, last night after the banquet.
Who's that?
Smothers Duncan and America.
Okay.
I would have liked to have been there to meet America.
I'm okay.
It looked like Smothers Duncan came out. There was a guy who, I think he's a relative of Dustin's. He wears Zubaz in a fanny pack.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like they tried to record a rated R podcast again, and
oh yeah, for something, yeah. For
the annual tradition of the Hall of Fame. Of trying to record a podcast and then realizing, fuck, we can't use any of this.
We can't use any of this stuff. Yeah, I begged Dustin to let me hear the Rated R podcast from last year, and his exact words were, "No, absolutely not." I'm like, "Come on!" He's like, "No, you are never hearing this." And then, of course, again this year, I said, "I would love to hear this." Again, I got, "No, absolutely not." No, it's
great. It's always a great time in Waterloo, guys. If you're listening to this, even if Waterloo is far away, it's a great little vacation. I know our friend Gary Freeland talked about maybe coming in one of the future years. Just if you're interested in wrestling, if you love wrestling, past, present, and future, because there's really something for everybody.
Yeah, really
at this event. That's the big thing for me. There's something for everybody. You've got the tryouts. You've got the Hall of Fame Classic tournament, which I think is really been a great addition to the weekend, in the sense that you get to see, like,
we had Brian Cage and Austin Aries. We had the two top champions from Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
We had Colt Cabana. We had Brian Cage already. Colt Cabana, Kurt Stallion, Airwolf, Bob Holly, and then, of course, every year you get the one entrant that wins the Impact Pro Wrestling Qualifier.
I can't believe you skipped somebody.
Who did I skip? Oh, I skipped DJZ. How did I skip DJZ? Yeah, we had.
I love making that sound.
I did skip DJZ.
By the way.
Yeah. No, and those matches. Probably one of my favorite probably my favorite match of the day was Kurt Stallion versus Brian Cage.
Oh my god, I loved that match.
Stallion, they were out there beating the holy you know what out of each other.
I loved that match so much. That was great.
Stallien, man, I get worried I cringe every time he throws that diving headbutt move.
Oh man, it makes me shake.
But no, I didn't get a chance to talk to Kurt at all.
Kurt, did you see Brian Cage's Twitter?
What?
Kurt basically got a rental car, drove 17 hours there from Texas, and had another booking back in Texas. I don't know if it was again Friday night or the next day, Saturday. Kurt basically drove there, had his match, drove back.
Dude, that guy, I swear to God, he posts. Kurt Stallion is the antithesis of do whatever you have to do to make it.
Yeah.
He is a guy, and I've seen him literally post like his Google Maps or whatever, where he will literally, over the course of a 3-day weekend, drive pretty much halfway across the country and back again.
Yeah.
If he has to
I think he's living in Texas again.
Yeah, but he will drive wherever he has to get the best bookings.
Yeah.
And he is a guy who, if he has to, he'll get somebody with him, and they'll drive through the night to get from Illinois AAW show out to Virginia for a Nova Pro show the next day, or drive from Texas to Illinois to back to Texas again if he has to.
Yeah.
The guy wants it and he deserves it, and I love Kurt. And unfortunately, didn't get a chance to talk to him because great guy, absolutely super cool, super fun guy to hang out with and talk to. A guy who, again, and it's cool because you get these guys at this show, and I feel like even the guys that are on the show, like Brian Cage. You ever talk to Brian Cage, you can tell he is a pro wrestling fan.
Oh, absolutely.
And
if you looked at his Instagram story from Hall of Fame weekend, you could tell he was a fan.
Obviously, Austin Aries is a guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes this business. Kurt Stallion.
Yes, but he does not eat, breathe, or sleep meat or any other animal products.
No, he's no, definitely not. Airwolf, a kid who last year was in the tryouts.
Yeah.
And then this year he's in the Hall of Fame Classic. And a guy who I said, wow, in 1 year, he put on about 30 pounds of muscle mass.
Yeah, he looks
great. Obviously, we'd seen Brandon Gore before the tryouts, and he looked better than ever.
See, I didn't remember Brandon Gore from last year.
I don't think he was there last year. I think he was there 2 years ago.
Okay.
I remember him. Because a lot of those Minnesota kids have come down pretty much every year.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys that make this show that, I mean, like I said, it is a weekend that I posted this yesterday on my Facebook. It's great to be around like-minded people who love this business and will respect the guys, the Baron Von Raschke's, the Stan Hansens, the Bruiser Brodies that came before us, and then also respect seeing a guy like a Brian Cage who goes out there and busts his ass, and a Kurt Stallion, and the unique style of Colt Cabana.
Yep.
Which Colt was at his most Colt throughout the day. I'll say that.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Colt's Colt.
Great seeing Colt. I mean, I've known Colt now for pretty much 14 years. Did you see where he said where he posted on the I think it was on his Instagram where he said how to make fun of a bodybuilder, and he tapes something to Brian Cage's back and goes, get it. And of course, Cage can't get it because his back is so huge.
That's funny.
But no, great time. Like we said, if you're if you're thinking about it, especially if you're in the QC, if you're within driving distance, get up to Waterloo.
Yeah, if you're in the Quad Cities, or even Des Moines, or I don't know where our listeners live.
I tell people all the time, if you're just driving through Waterloo,
stop at the museum.
If the museum's open, go at least go check it out. Once you go check out the museum, kind of understand what this weekend does, and then if you can make a trip. It's a few days. It's only a few days. It's fairly cheap as far as round trips go. Get up there to the show and just immerse yourself in the weekend. And like I said, we've made so many friends.
Yeah.
Through the guys with IPW, fans that we've met. We met our new buddy Tito.
Yeah, Tito. Well, I already knew Tito.
Well, you knew Tito, but I hadn't met Tito.
Yeah.
You love Tito because he about made me go into a conniption fit at one point.
Yeah. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Because the Tito doesn't like the Bucks.
Yes, Tito does not like the Young Bucks.
Do you need me to pause this?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Well, we got SummerSlam 1997 on in the background, and Sonny is out there looking roll tide.
God, I hate you.
Sonny is looking as roll tide can be in this shot
so
right
much.
now.
It's not a fucking adjective, Regal. Roll tide is not a fucking adjective, Regal. Regal, repeat after me.
Okay.
Roll tide is not
an adjective.
Not an adjective.
According to Conrad, the great Conrad Thompson, it is.
I don't think that guy is supposed to be in the shot. So it's this guy versus a kid?
I don't know what's going on here.
It's like $1 million giveaway. It's the winner of the Just Incredible Lookalike contest against a kid.
All I know is that dude right now is probably thinking, Tammy Sitch is, rubbing on me. Which, keep in mind, folks, this is Tammy Sitch in 1997, which, yeah, and then there's the other one out there, too. I'm sorry, I was never a Sable fan.
Yeah.
I was definitely a Sunny guy all the way.
Fair enough. God damn, now I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the Hall of Fame.
Oh, no, I was going to talk about 1997.
Oh.
Next week on the podcast, we're going to be doing
yes.
Pipe Dream Classic. First time ever, not in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Because every time we've done a poll, I think we've done 2000, 2001, and 2011. That's chronological order. That's not necessarily podcast order, because I think we'll be doing our 4th one this next week, and we're going to finally do 1997. Absolutely.
It's an absolutely interesting year in the wrestling business. Probably one of my favorite years. Of course, I went to WrestleMania that year.
Yeah.
And saw one of the greatest matches of all time.
Fair enough.
Like I said, we're watching SummerSlam 97, which I think is a excellent pay-per-view for the most part.
Was Great American Bash 98?
No, Great American Bash 97 was at the Iowa. That was 97 at the Iowa Center, so I was actually at that too.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Who's the guy in the suit that looks like Bill Gates?
I think he might be there, like
as like a legal.
Yeah.
Dude, what about that outfit on Sonny? I'm gonna be booking Sonny a lot next week.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, I'll find something.
All right. So, we watched MLW Battle Riot today.
Yeah, we talked about MLW for a second.
For a minute. Awesome match between Cotto Brazil and Myron Reed to start it out. I love that.
Myron Reed debuting in MLW.
I think Cotto Brazil was debuting in that
match.
No,
Cotto Brazil's been on the TV, show.
Okay.
Cotto Brazil, some people may know a little better from WWN, from Evolve, FIP, as he's one of AR Fox's students, Scoop Strikes.
I like Cotto Brazil a lot.
I do like the Cotto Brazil name a little better, but
a lot better. Yeah. Scoop Strikes is fucking stupid. Speaking of fucking stupid, they changed their commentary team in MLW.
Yeah, what happened to Rich Bocchini, man?
I don't know, but they might lose a viewer if I have to put up with Matt Striker.
Alex's buddy Matt Striker.
Fuck Matt Striker.
I will say this for MLW, and I said this when we were watching the show. If you'd have told me a year ago that in 2018 I would enjoy a Tony Schiavone commentated show 1,000 times more than I enjoyed a Jim Ross commentated show.
Yeah.
And that Tony Schiavone is more in tune with calling the current wrestling product in 2018 than Jim Ross.
How much do you think Court produces them?
I'm guessing he gives them notes, but I got a feeling he just kind of lets them go. And obviously you've got Bruce there too.
Right.
So I'm sure they're being somewhat produced, but not overly.
I mean, maybe not produced during the show, but at least given, like, crib sheets or whatever. No, is crib sheet the right word?
Yeah.
Like a note sheet.
Yeah.
This is what I really need you to put over, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, so the goal of this was they had to get the right key to unlock the casket to win $1 million. I think I figured this out now.
Oh.
But no, MLW, back to MLW, they, like I said, Scoop, Myron Reed and Cotto Brazil had an absolutely amazing match to start the show, which they got a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, I honestly expected the Battle Riot to be longer.
Yeah, and then we had MJF.
Yep.
The best heel in independent wrestling.
Yeah, probably.
Versus Joey Ryan, which I don't understand how Joey Ryan is wrestling in MLW when he died in Japan.
Well, it wasn't live.
He murdered in Japan.
It wasn't live.
Joey Ryan was murdered in Japan by a guy that was definitely 100% not Adam Page.
It wasn't live.
So you're saying that Joey Ryan was still alive when they taped this? No, Joey Ryan died a long time ago in Japan. The ghost of Joey Ryan is going to be at StarCast. I mean, was that the ghost of Joey Ryan wrestling?
Maybe it was.
Okay.
Maybe there's a Joey. I thought he looked different. Maybe there's an imposter.
Is there an imposter Joey Ryan?
Yep. Remember?
Do we need to call Leslie Nielsen?
Leslie Nielsen's dead.
Well, remember when he found the fake Undertaker?
Yes, I do remember that. That doesn't make him any less dead.
Well, Joey Ryan's dead. So we can get a seance. We'll call Leslie Nielsen.
Oh my god.
We'll find out.
I hate you so much.
We'll find out if Joey
Margaret!
Margaret's not here.
I know. Oh.
That's why this show's going to be even more off the rails than normal, because Margaret's not here to corral it back to normalcy.
What did I do to deserve this?
I keep getting distracted. Something. There. Don't stop it. You didn't need to pause it. Keep playing.
You kept losing track of what you're saying.
But the...
Let's talk about the actual Battle Riot match itself.
The MJF Joey Ryan match.
Oh,
great
yeah.
match. MJF gets the middleweight title.
Yes.
There is a weight limit on the middleweight. Is it 235?
Probably.
Or 225, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not quite a cruiserweight belt, but
Right.
I think it's basically the old school, the original WCW light heavyweight.
Well, the WCW cruiserweight was 225.
WCW light heavyweight was 225. I think the WCW cruiserweight in the Monday Night Wars was 215. They were different.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I think when it went to WWF, it was the WWF cruiserweight was 225.
Yeah.
Or it might have even been 230.
But now the Battle Riot itself, was it 40 guys?
Yep.
1 minute intervals.
Yep.
And if you could be eliminated by over the top rope or pinfall or submission.
Yep.
So, I mean...
One criticism I will have...
What?
They made a big old to-do of, there are no disqualifications, you can use weapons, any weapons brought into the match are legal.
And
a single fucking weapon was brought into the match.
Especially when you have number 40 be Jimmy fucking Havoc.
Yeah.
Which I'm literally expecting him to bring out a weapon.
Right. I did not understand that. I did not understand that at all. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
The match itself I thought was great, and I actually liked this as their first TV special.
Yeah.
This was actually originally a live TV special. They put it up on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
You can watch it. I think this was a great way to introduce people to the product because you literally got pretty much the entire roster.
Yeah.
Out there for one match.
And it just kind of also made me realize, like, how big their roster is.
Oh, yeah.
Because really, there weren't that many, like,
surprises or guys that we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
Some guys may not be on every episode of the TV.
Right.
But you could see...
I think maybe, like, the Spirit Squad and Swoggle were...
Swoggle's been on TV a few times.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say I absolutely... They made this guy look like a star. I absolutely love Barrington Hughes.
Yeah.
What is... I can't remember his moniker, but Barrington Hughes essentially a extremely old school super heavyweight.
Yep.
He is probably about 460 pounds.
I'd say, yeah.
Absolutely huge, gigantic, very round man. And they basically had him kill about 5 people when he got in the ring. He actually killed Conan.
Yeah. Well, and it took everyone still in the match except for Filthy Tom Lawler to eliminate him.
They made Filthy Tom Lawler like an absolute star.
Mm-hmm.
Because what did he come in at, number 5?
Yep.
And lasted the whole way through it.
Yep.
Tom Lawler, a guy, again, a former UFC fighter who kind of made the tradition similar to Matt Riddle. Absolutely, probably the most pushed guy on MLW TV.
Yeah.
One thing I will say I love about MLW, they have multiple stables of heels. Heels fight in numbers. Mm-hmm. They use other people to cheat for them. So you have Team Filthy, which is Tom Lawler, Simon Gotch,
and Fred Yehai. There used to be somebody else in it.
There was, and then Fred Yehai kind of took the place.
Yeah.
But essentially a team of shooters.
Yeah. You have Colonel Robert Parker's Stud Stable.
Stud Stable, which is Jake Hager, the former Jack Swagger.
Yep.
And the Dirty Blondes.
Don't ask me to remember their names.
Who look pretty much like the blonde-haired stepchildren of Dutch Mantel and Bobby Jaggers. I'm with Tony Schiavone. I'm pretty sure one of them is the son of Bobby Jaggers because he looks like Bobby Jaggers, formerly of the Kansas Jayhawks. Of course, most of our listeners are going, who the fuck is Bobby Jaggers, Regal?
I have no idea who you're fucking talking about.
Bobby Jaggers was team with Dutch Mantel. They were the Kansas Jayhawks.
Oh.
Bobby Jaggers was actually managed by Bobby Heenan in the AWA for a little while, I believe.
I must have missed it.
I know he was on a list of guys I saw that Bobby managed. J.J. Dillon talks a lot about Bobby Jaggers because he was a great mechanic in the ring. And then there's the Salina De La Renta stable.
Oh, I forgot about
of Luchadors, which is Phoenix.
Low-Key's in her group now.
Low-Key, Phoenix, Pentagon. There's who's the other?
The Death Machines.
Death Machines, which is Sammy Callahan, some guy I've never heard of, some bald guy whose name I can't remember, and then Sawyer Fulton.
Yeah.
Formerly of Sanity.
Yep.
Who I still think kind of got a raw deal because he finally gets a push on NXT. He gets injured and then they release him.
Yeah.
To replace him with Killian Dane.
Yeah.
But then they just released him. They never brought him back. So good for.
They released him, or did he just not renew?
He got released.
Okay.
But so Sawyer Fulton looks really good. He looks like he dropped a lot of weight.
Yeah, he does.
So I really, really like the fact that they use heel stables as a way to get people over. And they actually use managers. You've got Salina De La Renta. Mm-hmm. You've got, unfortunately, I was kind of mad we did not see him at all during the Battle Riot. My boy, Colonel Robert Parker.
I bet he didn't want to make the trip to New York.
Yeah, Robert Fuller.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a gimme. His dick was that long. You ever heard that shoot interview clip where I can't remember who it was, where they, of course, I think Tony Schiavone's got the shirt from his podcast that says Parker's Jump Rope Academy. Apparently it's a kind of a thing. No, I have always loved Colonel Robert Parker.
Me too.
You know, I was listening to somebody, they were talking about Robert Parker and Ming, and they said that Ming kind of got held back being managed by Colonel Robert Parker because you had Ming, who was this,
they brought him in as a bodyguard.
Well, yeah, but then they had Ming as this ass kicker, and then even still in 97 or 96, you had him being managed by the Colonel, and of course you got...
No, he was not being managed by... No, Rob Parker was gone by 95. Wasn't he?
No, he was still there for Bash at the Beach 96.
He was managed... But that was by the point he was managing... He
was still managing Ming at that point. I think it was right before the Dungeon of Doom. Ming flipped off Colonel Robert Parker to join the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah, and he ended up with Barbarian, and they got managed by Jimmy Hart.
Yeah. So at Bash at the Beach 96, which is the one that was outside, they still had him managed by the Colonel.
No, Bash at the Beach 96 was not outside. That was Bash at the Beach 95. Bash at the Beach 96 is when Hogan joined the
you're right.
NWO.
So yeah, it was 95. So maybe he was gone by 96.
He was not there in 96, okay. I don't think. What year was he Tennessee Lee in the WWF?
That would
was
have been
97 or 98.
That would have been 97, I think.
Yeah.
And then Parker went back to WCW, and for some reason became French.
I forgot about that.
You totally forgot about his run as the manager of the Amazing French Canadians.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, for some freaking reason.
But when was the angle? Was 90? He might have still been there in 96. Because when was the angle where him and Sherry were married and they were like
that was in 96. So
okay.
So because they're on Nitro
together. Harlem Heat. Yeah.
So I've been going through that. I've been going through that run on Nitro actually. So they're still there. He's still there in 96. I think in 97 he goes to WWE, and then I think in 98 he goes back to WCW, and for some fucking reason that nobody will ever understand, he's French.
I mean, if it's be French or not have a job, you're gonna be French, right?
Yeah.
You would be Pierre Monlevue Regal, wouldn't you?
He was the manager of...
If I just said something dirty in French, I don't speak French, I'm just making words up. So don't get upset with me. I shouldn't be doing that. Pierre
we accidentally say something super dirty in French. I know bonjour. That's pretty much the only French.
That's not even French, so...
That's
bonjour. Not? There's an N. Bonjour. Not Beaujour.
I know Beaujour.
That's the only French I know.
I know Beaujour? French. I know French fries and French toast.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Kind of left myself open for that one, didn't I?
You really did.
Yeah. I like French girls.
Like Maurice?
Yes.
Have you seen the first episode of Mrs.
I have
Mrs.
not.
yet?
It's not, unfortunately, not on Hulu, so I've
It's not
seen Ms. and Mrs. yet. No.
Oh, dang.
Probably have to wait until they put it on the WWE Network, unfortunately.
Dang, that sucks.
I've heard it was pretty funny. But
the question is Maurice's dad, Pierre-Carl Ouellette, on there, PCO?
No, Thomas Montgomery.
It's not Thomas! You buried Thomas that every time it was fucking Casey.
Oh, that was Moondog. No, Moondog Bernard. PCO is not Maurice's father. I always think for some reason that just sounds like something Thomas Montgomery would have said too.
No, Thomas isn't that stupid. No, Thomas doesn't say anything until he is like intensively. He'll give weird opinions, but he does not give out false facts. He intensely researches things before he asks you about
Unless you get him really mad.
No, but he researches things before he...
Yeah.
What was that, dog food?
Dog food. The gimmick on this was if if Ken Shamrock beats British Bulldog is supposed to eat dog food.
Look at how jacked these two are.
Well, yeah. You know. Unfortunately, that kind of led to, problems for Davey.
I know.
Well, so we're watching Davey. I watched World of Sport this week today.
I got through about half of it.
You got through about half of it.
I was not impressed.
I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I think you've watched some Progress, but that's about it.
I like Progress. I've watched some Rev Pro matches on YouTube. I've watched some what culture's wrestling promotion called? Defiant. I watched Defiant. Yeah. I love that. I really expected I would like it. I just didn't connect with it. It just felt like we've just got these guys and we're gonna send them out and they're gonna have matches. I didn't feel a connection to the product.
I think you've got to give it a few weeks.
Okay, I will. I mean, I'll watch the next one.
I think you've got to give it a few weeks to really let the storylines get going, because essentially they were building off of a 2-hour TV special that they did over a year ago. I think it may have been about a year and a half.
Gotcha.
Since that original TV special aired. So I mean, obviously they switched the title from Grado to Rampage Brown in the first episode. There was a phenomenal match between Will Ospreay and Davey Boy Smith Jr. There is, I believe, a 4-way on the next episode for the Women's Championship, which I know features Viper, a.k.a. Piper Nevin from last year's Mae Young Classic. They had, I'm trying to think, basically everybody that didn't get signed by WWE is on this show. And I really enjoyed it. It's 1 hour. It's an easy watch, I think.
Yeah.
Stu Bennett is great as the commissioner / commentator. They have SoCal Val as a commentator, which I think was kind of an odd...
Oh, you just don't like women on commentary?
No, but...
I thought about actually sending it to Margaret and telling her she should watch it just to kind of listen to...
I mean, there is that, but I just thought the placement of SoCal Val as the color was kind of odd.
What, do you think it was to appeal to Americans?
No, because...
Have somebody without a British accent?
Not really, because the show pretty much... And I'll say this. I found it uploaded on YouTube, but you can probably find it uploaded to any, upload video site. There really isn't any American distribution for the show at all, as I believe.
But I mean,
because it's on ITV in the UK, it's not on BBC.
Right. Well, maybe they'll be looking to sell it to an American distributor.
Maybe they will syndicate in America or put it on possibly some type of a streaming platform at some point. But no, so there really would be at this point. I think no need. Did he suplex Pat? I think he did.
He might. Yeah, he suplexed a lot of people.
You see how young Jerry Briscoe looked in this shot?
Jerry still fucking hooked you.
Hey, if Jerry wants to hook you, you'll be hooked. Ask Rory Fox.
Yeah, that's right.
Rory Fox got hooked.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry Briscoe told Rory Fox, "Tap out like you mean it, son." Yeah, our boy Rory Fox got beat up by a few people. He was not having a good night. Got beat up by by Cowboy Bob. Got beat up, got hooked by Jerry. I think Baron Von Raschke got a shot in on him. Mm-hmm. I think Bruce Hart. There's a, Rory Fox making friends everywhere he goes in the state of Iowa.
Everybody loves Rory Fox.
I heard there were some people at Ragbri even that didn't like Rory Fox.
Yeah, but some of them did.
Well, some of them may have. We talk about that, man. I mean,
yeah, 35,000 people getting their eyes on Central Empire Wrestling.
Central Empire Wrestling
in Kyoto,
running in Kyoto at 7 a.m. in the morning.
I think they had matches every hour: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Our boy JT Energy got up at, I believe, 4:30 in the morning.
Something like that.
To drive.
Xander Killen was there. Xander Killen was a last-minute replacement
to
for
drive.
Kurt Gannon.
Yeah, so some of our Black and Brave guys got up at 4:30 in the morning.
I can't imagine what time Donnie Pepper Cricket had to leave coming from Omaha.
Yeah, because he lived over in Omaha. So.
Yeah.
No, they 7 a.m. and they had a huge crowd because basically it's as the bikers come through, they stop, they take a break, they watch a few matches, and then move. You do a couple of shows. It's kind of like what they do with like a lot of county fair shows and stuff like that.
I want to say there were only like 6 guys on the show too.
Really?
Yeah, because I think it was.
That'd be an interesting experience to wrestle at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I can't imagine because your body is so much different in the morning than it is.
The earliest I've ever worked a show, I think we did the first Donahue days back in the day for SCW. I know we did Buffaloff versus Tyler Black in a handicap match.
Yeah.
And I think that was at like 10 a.m.
Really?
And even then, you're wrestling at 10 a.m., it feels weird.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
You're used to wrestling, the show starting at 6, 6:37, whatever. Occasionally you might work a matinee show, but yeah, you're definitely not used to wrestling at 10 a.m. most of the day.
So what, you said a handicap match was a 3-on-1?
No, it was a 2-on-1. I was on the outside. It was I might have been Bobby. I think it was Bobby Doll. Was Bobby Doll Crotch or was it? No, it was K Buff and F Buff versus Tyler Black, and it was actually. The gimmick was it was actually Tyler's last match before he was supposed to go to the Ring of Honor Training Academy.
Oh.
So we kind of gave him a little Ring of Honor send off. Basically, we went to shake his hand and then I flipped him off.
Oh.
'Cause I'm kind of mean.
You're such a jerk.
I am, really am. Especially back then.
Yeah, I've heard how much worse you were back then.
I was pretty much of an asshole as a manager.
Yeah.
I carried around a book too. I knew where you got that idea from.
Why are you trying to
somewhere.
steal stuff from me?
I was doing that in 2003, pal.
And I had the idea of it in 1989.
2003, how old were you?
14.
12?
14.
Yeah. Your book's bigger than mine. And
that's what she said.
Hey, it's not the size of the book, it's how you use it.
Whoa.
And that's
spoken like someone with a little book.
And that's volume 24. There's 23 volumes that we haven't even seen.
You don't even know how to read. That's volume 28.
28. From where I'm looking at it, looks like a 4.
Yeah.
But no,
it's gotten bigger over the years.
Wow. You carry around a book kind of like I used to. Obviously, you're the 7-star mind. You are a teacher. I was a fitness instructor. Let's just admit it, Alex McCarthy, that you wanted to be as much like Timothy Regal as you possibly could.
Never thought about it like that. Because it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I know I'm your hero and your role model, Alex. You don't have to lie.
Hey, it's Tito.
Hey, you know what we can both say?
What?
We're both better than Jason Prentice.
I'm better than Jason Prentice. I would say that. I'm comfortable saying that.
I will say that. I was better than Jason Prentice. No offense, Jason Prentice. We love it. I love Jason Prentice. Alex might.
Oh, wow.
Jason Prentice somebody's gonna stooge that off to Jason. He's gonna get all mad.
Whatever.
We're screwing with him. I had a nice conversation with Jason Prentice.
Why is Tommy Dreamer in the Bariquas?
That's not Tommy Dreamer.
Oh.
I didn't. Like I said, we didn't stick around long enough to meet America. I wanted to meet his cousin America, but
Okay.
I heard Falasso was there too. Falasso is technically a member of the Slam Fam.
No, he is not.
He's Cat's dad.
The fuck he is.
That's what apparently we were led to believe at one point. Falasso Butler is Falasso the Butler is Cat Carter's dad.
Who's all in this biker stable? It's Crush. Is that Brian Lee?
Crush, Chains, aka Brian Lee, and the Harris Boys.
Yeah.
Skull and 8 Ball.
Okay, that's what I thought.
My buddy our buddy Doug Ritter's buddy is the Harris Boys.
So here's my question. Maybe you know this, but you probably don't. Did they ride the motorcycles from town to town, or did they stick the motorcycles in the back of a trailer and take a car?
I'm sure they probably stuck them on a trailer to get from town to town. I do know that when they were here during like the 2002 era-ish,
yeah,
I do know that Hurricane Helms rode the Huracycle around town.
What?
Yes.
I don't even remember there being a Huracycle.
There was you don't remember the Huracycle?
Not really, no.
It had the Hurricane logo on the back. It had the sidecar for Mighty Molly.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
Not really, no.
No, they did have they had a Huracycle, and he did ride it around downtown Moline.
Oh, okay. So did Chuck Palumbo ride his motorcycle from town to town?
Probably not.
Did the Undertaker ride his motorcycle from town to town?
Dude. Considering I pretty much know what that bike was worth, I guarantee you not.
How about Hulk Hogan?
Hulk might have. I don't know.
You sure one of these guys isn't Tommy Dreamer?
No, that's not Tommy Dreamer. It's Savio Vega, Miguel Perez Jr., Jerry Estrada. I have no clue who that fourth guy is.
Wow.
I have no clue who Los Periquas is.
Tommy Dreamer.
Los Periquas is probably one of the most forgotten stables in wrestling history.
These guys that's the stipulation of the match. Winner gets to be the most forgotten stable in the history of professional wrestling, right?
Hey, the DOA are pretty cool. You got Brian Lee. You got the owners of Aero Lucha. The guys who pretty much, hey, if nothing else, the Harris Boys did do pro wrestling one massive favor.
What?
They're pretty much the cause for the fact that we thankfully don't have to deal with Dixie Carter anymore.
Fair enough.
And from what I've heard, Aero Lucha shows are a lot of fun.
Cool.
Doug went to the first one.
Nice.
The company that Douglas works for actually does the staging and lighting for the Aero Lucha shows. So he's actually kind of met and talked with the Harris Boys a bunch. Dude, it's dude, look at seriously.
Look how hairy Tommy Dreamer is.
That isn't Tommy Dreamer. It's Miguel Perez Jr. I know who the fuck that is. And yes, Miguel Perez Jr. Seriously, this guy. I mean, Moondog. I don't think Moondog Bernard has that much body hair.
I don't have that much body hair.
You got a lot of body hair.
Yeah.
Trust me, folks. If you ever get the chance to see Alex McCarthy take his shirt off, do yourself a favor and pass.
$25.
Do yourself a favor and pass on that.
If you want my body,
no, that's Austin Fouts' music, bro.
Oh, it might be my music pretty soon.
You gonna manage Austin Fouts?
Never know.
Austin Fouts gonna come to the 7-Star Mind Academy?
I don't know.
I know who's not.
Who?
Steve Manders.
You don't know that.
I got a pretty good authority. He's not coming.
You don't know that. You don't know that, Regal.
I can pretty much guarantee that. Should we kind of close the show on a not so much a downer, but I think we should.
Sure.
We're recording this on Sunday.
You know what I hate to say though?
What?
After the whole Brickhouse thing last week,
well, I'm
almost kind of afraid to.
That's confirmed, and
are they all confirmed?
I think they're pretty much all confirmed at this point. We know one is confirmed. We know Nikolai is confirmed.
Yeah.
We're recording this on Sunday. As of right now, we woke up this morning to find out the sad news that Nikolai Volkov passed away. Brickhouse Brown, who we thought had passed away last week, Brickhouse unfortunately finally did did pass over to the other side this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not sure the current status of Brian Christopher, whether he has passed on or he is. The latest report was that he is currently on life support, and kind of getting a feeling that this may be one of those situations where they may have put him on life support to give him time to let his family be with him. Unfortunately, it sounds like Brian made a bad choice. That, as we call it in the wrestling business, the demons may have got to him, and it's a sad state when this happens in the wrestling community. And unfortunately, thankfully, I think we've gotten better as a community over the last several years, but it still does happen. Obviously, you know, people, you know, you can say what you want about Brian Christopher.
Hey,
what?
Let's watch American Honor tonight.
We should.
I'm serious.
Main
event is Joey Janela versus David Starr.
Yeah, I know. It's but people forget. If you have ever seen any of like the USWA stuff of Brian Christopher, it was amazing. And then say what you will about Too Cool being kind of a comedy, funny, haha, gaga gimmick, but Too Cool and Rikishi, man, they were over like Grover.
Yeah, WWE is confirming the Brian Christopher passing now.
Okay, so it is confirmed.
Yeah.
Brian and Scotty and Rikishi got over like Grover.
Such a fun gimmick.
There's a story after they did a Raw or a SmackDown here or whatever. They were down at, I believe it was Chantilly Lace at the time, down in the district.
Yeah.
And the crowd pretty much coaxed them onto the dance floor, and the DJ played their music. And
nice.
They actually did the Too Cool gimmick in the club, and it was pretty amazing. You want to see how over that gimmick is? Go back and watch Royal Rumble 2000 when they're in the Royal Rumble, and they come, and I think it was Scotty. I think it was Brian and Rikishi were in the ring. Then the next guy out was Scotty, and rather than fight, they put the glasses on Quiche and did the dance.
Nice.
And the crowd just ate it up. Like I said, his both heel and babyface work in USWA, because I mean, obviously, and the whole gimmick where of course, I love the fact they basically made it a running gag of the fact that everybody in the world knew that he was Jerry's son, but they would never acknowledge it.
Oh yeah.
I always remember Jim Ross on a WWE show. Brian, I think it was when he was wrestling Taka. Brian comes out and he's, being, Brian. He's doing the cackle, the heel cackle, which that guy had an irritating heel laugh. But Jerry Lawler, JR and King are doing commentary. JR goes, so Brian Christopher, some people say this kid got a bad break at birth. and Jerry's like, hey, come on now.
That's funny.
No.
Is the Nation out there now?
Yeah, the Nation's at ringside. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a sad story that Brian has passed away, and I really hope that, everybody, like I said, always celebrate the good times in the life and the good memories in the life the person lived. And obviously, as Alex said, our hearts and prayers go out to the Lawler family and Jerry. The
Brown family and the Volkov. Probably not the Volkov family.
I mean, we'll get, obviously, we'll talk about Nikolai. You want to talk about heat.
Yeah.
All you had to do, and on the first, I will tell you, the first house show that I ever went to had Sheik and Nikolai versus Brian and Jim, the Killer Bees.
Yeah.
And, they come out with the flags, and they do the, I think it was Mel Phillips was the ring announcer, and he does the Mr. Volkov requests that you please rise and respect his singing of the Soviet national anthem. And Nikolai, who was a horrible singer to begin with.
Yeah.
By the time he was 2 words into the song,
yeah,
the entire crowd is booing and screaming and throwing shit, and I mean, you would and you go back and watch like MSG house shows on the network, anything where they sang the Russian national anthem, and people absolutely just hated them, hated their damn guts. And then they worked the bees at WrestleMania 3, didn't they? Because that was when Hacksaw. That was when they were doing the gimmick where Hacksaw had just shown up, and the whole gimmick with Hacksaw was that he would literally run in and attack him with a 2x4 anytime that they tried to sing the national anthem.
Yep.
So yeah, you can literally see 90,000 people. What it's like to get heat from 93,000 people.
Hashtag heat goals.
Well, I mean, it might have been. According to Dave Meltzer, it was about 86,000, but you know.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
It really wasn't 93.
Yes, it was.
But you know how sad I was actually when I found that out when I was during my adult years.
Why?
Because I always believed the 93,173 number that we were told when we were kids.
Who says it wasn't true?
Jesus Christ! Chains trying to run people over with a motorcycle.
That's Crush.
That's Crush, yeah.
Jesus Christ is not the one that said it was not. I said, who said it wasn't 93,000? And Regal goes, Jesus Christ! Dave Meltzer is not Jesus Christ, Regal.
Dave Meltzer definitely not Jesus Christ. Wow.
Wow.
I was reacting
Horrible
timing. I was reacting to the fact that Crush was trying to run motherfuckers over with the bike. Hey, Crush! Somebody get Crush out there and tell her to run a motherfucker over.
and then you're gonna get the bike and you're gonna run all these fuckers over. I would love I don't even care why. Just bring that fucking In Your House set back.
Oh, the old school house.
Yes, I loved that. It's probably my favorite. I miss sets though.
Yeah.
I miss the pre-LED board days setup when they actually had fucking sets on the shows.
Yeah, I mean, most of the pay-per-views now, they just use the same damn generic LED board set.
The only show that gets a set is WrestleMania.
Does SummerSlam get a set? I think SummerSlam gets a set, usually.
Does it? I don't know. I don't think it does.
Might not have been the last few years, but I think up until a few years ago, SummerSlam got a set.
Yeah. All the shows look the same.
No, yeah, man, nobody gets a set where... You know what I miss?
What?
The old school WCW ramp. Where they actually had the ramp off the set and it went all the way to the ring. I always liked the ramp. I thought it gave WCW a different look. God, look at that In Your House Canadian Stampede crowd with Austin. God, that's one of the greatest. You want to talk about heat goals? God damn. Austin and In Your House Canadian Stampede. That's heat goals. But obviously Nikolai Volkov. We talked about Brickhouse, I think, on last week's. Did we talk about Brickhouse last week? I think we did.
Well, we talked about how amazing it was that we all thought he was dead and that he wasn't. But I don't think we talked about actually his career at all. But you would have to be the one to talk about that because I haven't seen any of his stuff.
I mean, Brickhouse guy, USWA, world class. Actually, was the guy who they thought was going to take over for Junkyard in the Mid-South. It never quite worked out.
Yeah.
But a guy who definitely was a territory wrestler who got pretty much over working baby or heel pretty much everywhere he went.
Yeah.
Great talent, a great guy if you're ever looking for tape study on how to cut a promo.
Yeah.
Because he could cut a promo with the best of them. And like you said, miraculously he managed to survive. At one point we thought he had passed on, but obviously cancer is a bitch and it sucks. But yeah, it was kind of a sad morning when you have basically 3 people in the wrestling community pass away within.
Brian Lawler's so young.
Brian Lawler, young, and like I said, my buddy Nick Manawa posted a picture from just maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and Brian, well, was it the first NXT takeover, wasn't it? Which wasn't that long ago, 3 or 4 years?
46.
Was it 3 or 4 years ago for the first NXT takeover?
Something like that.
Where they wrestled the Ascension?
I'm not sure, yeah.
Because they wrestled the Ascension on the first NXT takeover, and it wasn't that long ago. That wasn't that long ago.
No.
And he still looked like he was in really good shape. So, unfortunately, he's a guy who struggled with drug addiction and some mental illness issues. God, look how young Michael Cole looks. And it's a very sad thing. And I know Troy Peterson, who obviously has had Brian Christopher on shows in the past and talked about how, I know WWE's gotten better, but we need to work harder as a community because, when these guys get out of the limelight sometimes, and it can be, especially if it's somebody that may have had a mental issue, whatever, it can be a dark road, and we need to do better of making sure that, and like I said, I think that's why places like the Tragos Does Hall of Fame and that kind of thing mean so much. But let's, try to, like I said, again, remember, what's the phrase I always remember? Don't be sad that the journey ended. Be happy that the journey happened. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of where I always try to take it when, whether it's a family member or somebody within the wrestling community where we all feel, a closeness. That's where I always try to take it. So, I think that's about all I'm gonna say. What do you? Anything else?
I mean, I loved Brian. I remember in the early days of TNA, I thought he was going to be the big star there.
I mean, people forget those weekly pay-per-views. Some of those early weekly pay-per-views, they gave him a pretty big push.
Yeah. He's definitely a main event guy there, and just the whole, just the angle with the sunglasses of Rikishi, and obviously, Nikolai was the very, very early part of my fandom as a childhood, so I don't have, a lot of distinct memories about Nikolai. I loved, Nikolai's babyface run when he came back and was babyface, because just if you listen to his interviews after, his post-career interviews, he was such a genuinely likable human being. Yeah. He just seemed like the coolest guy.
The stories I love are the stories of how frugal he was on the road.
Yeah.
I know Bruce Pritchard told a story on his podcast that Nikolai would go to the grocery store right before they were about to close, and he'd go get the fruit that they were gonna the bruised fruit that they were gonna throw out.
Yeah.
And that's what he'd eat.
Wow.
So that he wouldn't have to pay for food. No, Nikolai was apparently just well loved by everybody in the community.
Yeah.
And it's I'm trying to think of, there was something else I was going to, like I said, my biggest memory of Nikolai.
Yeah.
Well, he was a wrestler, but would probably be Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
Sure.
Because he was the character was literally a cartoonish version of the character, but they basically played him as the bumbling idiot heel on Roddy's heel team.
Yeah.
They did a hilarious episode where Nikolai was trying to try out for the Russian space program that I always remember. And then obviously my Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik tag LJ and action figures, which I actually have, not mine,
right?
But I purchased. They sit on my mantle, a Nikolai and Iron Sheik action figure to this day, because they were my heels that always got beat up by Hogan or Steamboat or Savage or Corporal Kirshner or George the Animal Steel or whoever. But yeah, the heels for heel action figures, I pretty much had Roddy, Sheik, and Volkov. So they got beat up a lot when I was a little kid.
Yeah. So are we ready to?
I think we're about ready to send it on home.
All right. Don't forget, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at OneRealSmartAlex. Go ahead and follow Regal at SCWRegal444. Margaret's on assignment this week. She's covering some developments in the family.
Yes.
So she'll be back probably next week. Follow her at Bells and Estelle for wrestling stuff. Follow her at Margaret_Adele for non-wrestling stuff. Follow the Slam Fam on Instagram. Margaret killed it this weekend.
She did.
I mean, you don't get the notifications on Instagram, but freaking Marty the Moth followed us and liked a bunch of our stuff this weekend.
If you really want to see what the Hall of Fame show for IPW looks like and what our experience was, go follow the Slam Fam Wrestling Instagram account because Margaret took amazing video. Of course, our good friend Valentina Loco was kind of upset, but unfortunately there was a ladder in our way. We didn't get the video of Valentina getting crushed into a ladder.
As I said, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, no, she got pretty crushed by Brooke Valentine, but unfortunately there was a ladder in our way, so we didn't get that video that we desperately would have liked to have gotten. But no, go follow us. Go follow
Slam Fam Wrestling.
I'll give a quick plug. Go follow our buddies over at the Pro Wrestling Mothership Network. They did a great job as well covering the event, but it was a good weekend, and I'm already looking forward to next year again.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. Hopefully we can do the whole weekend.
Hopefully we'll be up there for the whole weekend again. Because I like partying. I like. Did I tell you I almost stole a beer from Justin Decent?
You have a death wish?
That's pretty much what he said. I tried to steal a beer out of the pocket of Justin Decent, and he said, "I will not kill a man for anything except for if you try to steal my beer."
You can steal my wife, but don't steal my beer. Isn't that basically what he said?
Yeah, he said, you can steal my wife before you steal my beer. Our buddy, I love Justin so much. He's so great. But no, so yeah, definitely go follow the Slam Fam on social media, and next year, get up to Waterloo. Let's have some fun. We'll drink some beers. We'll watch some wrestling. We'll meet, Nikita Koloff or whoever's there next year. We were talking about Booker T was there. Booker T and the Queen. Charmel.
The Revival was there.
Adam Pearce.
Yeah, we didn't get to see Adam Pearce.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about half the people that were there because we didn't have enough time to meet everybody.
Yeah.
But definitely go check it out. Next week, we'll get back to fun next week. I know we got a little heavy at the end of the show. Pipe Dream 1997. This should be interesting because 1997 was a super fun year, and it was it was definitely a transition year in wrestling. So, going to be interesting to see how we blend the different styles of wrestling that we had in 97. So I'm looking forward to that. But we will see you next week.
You want to let me finish in the plugs?
I thought you were done.
No.
Oh.
Like the Slam Fam Wrestling Network on Facebook.
The problem, normally Dusty's here.
Follow the Slam Fam at follow the podcast at Off the Chest TR on Twitter. God damn it, Regal. Silence your phone. Alright. We'll be back next week with some Pipe Dream Championship Wrestling.